Now this is a brief but very important video in relation to being able to hold corrupt judges to account where there is contradictory information, as will be made clear. The following is filmed at Taunton Police Station in April 2024.
I see you've got a GoPro on at the moment. Is that recording at the moment?
It is.
Do you mind turning that off for me?
Yes, I do.
We're now in a police station, so you can't record in here. We're coming through those doors, we're now into a police station.
Well, I'll have to go out there then, because I want to record this.
Okay, for what reason?
Because I have a lot of evidence of corruption by police officers.
Okay, I'll record it on my body one.
Yeah, but I can't absolutely guarantee I can get that. So what I'm saying, if you're recording, then there should be no issue me recording.
There is, because I'm in a police station, so
yes.
I'm recording this for my safety.
Yeah, so am I.
Okay, but in a police station, you're here to report a crime, I presume?
Correct.
Okay, so I brought you into a police station to record that crime.
Yeah, you're missing the logic. If you're saying you've got that body on camera, and you are suggesting, indicating...
No, I'm not.
Oh, so you're not saying that I can have access to that?
No, I'm not. I'm recording it for my safety and to cover everyone in the room.
Yeah, so you're saying, can you guarantee me I can have access to that?
If anything goes to court, you can request my body one,
No, that's not what I've asked. Can you guarantee I can have it? No, exactly. So that's why I want my own recording.
I'm not going to continue if you're going to record in a police station.
Can we do it out there?
I'm not going to do it in a public place.
Why not?
You come to a police station to record.
There's a place over there. Why can't we do it out there?
So what would you like to discuss?
Can we do it out there?
What would you like to discuss?
So are we dealing with this?
We'll have a quick overview and then I'll see if it's something that I can deal with or not.
Yes. Okay, there was a number of points. One issue is in relation to, I have a vast amount of evidence of corruption by judges and court staff. Irrefutable evidence. Repeatedly, police have acted against the advice from the Ministry of Justice and refused and stated that they don't deal with such matters.
Okay.
This is a letter from the Under Secretary of State that makes it absolutely clear it is your obligation to deal with corruption by court staff and judges.
Okay.
I would like, will you confirm if I'm
not going to put myself and back myself into any corner until you explain all of your circumstances.
Well,
so you're not going to ask me to confirm or deny anything at this time. I'm
asking.
If you're going to talk over me, then we're not going to get anywhere, are we? So I'm going to listen to you, and then you can listen to me. That's how it works. All right. So you've asked me. You've given me something very, very brief, and then you're asking me very quickly to confirm whether I'm going to do something or not. I don't know all the details yet, so I will not confirm that. All right.
Once
I've got all the details, I can then put myself in a position where I've got all the things that I need to confirm or deny what I will or will not do. All right?
Can I speak?
Of course you can.
Right. What I'm asking you here is, I've heard what you've said. This is the advice from the Ministry of Justice, the Under Secretary of State, the former Under Secretary of State. It makes it clear that it is your responsibility to investigate corruption by the judiciary.
Okay.
I'm asking you don't need to know any other details. You don't need to know any details at this stage in relation to the evidence that I have of corruption.
Okay.
I'm asking you, will you act? Because let me finish, because now it's my chance to talk.
I agree.
Right? The police have repeatedly refused to deal with evidence and allegations of corruption I've made, to the point of slamming the phone down on me when I've tried to speak about it and report it. It's totally ignorant and unprofessional, and I would say a criminal conduct. And certainly misconduct. And I'm just simply asking you whether you will adhere to the advice given by the Under Secretary of State without knowing any of the details of the case yet. In principle, will you investigate allegations of corruption by judiciary?
That's my job, sir, yes.
So you will do that?
That's my job. If there's anything criminal, I'm a police officer, sworn in police officer, that will investigate crime. So that is...
So even though I'm just checking, even though it is alleged crime by judges and court staff.
Doesn't matter who it's by.
Yeah.
Crime is a crime, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So I will, in due course, put together the file of evidence and go from there. Now, thank you very much for answering that one. Now, as you have heard in the video between me and the officer, I've repeatedly tried to report crimes, judicial crimes, to the police. I will show you this evidence later on. You can observe the U-turn that Pc Davy performed as to whether they investigate crimes and allegations of corruption by judges. And you will note that he appeared to be reading his answer, his response from his laptop. Here is the letter I gave Pc Davy from the former Parliamentary Under Secretary of State and Minister responsible for legal services, Lord Wolfson, where there are a number of points to look at. First, it appears that Lord Wolfson misadvised me in relation to the government being unable to intervene in judicial matters. As we can see, the government and Parliament have actually done with the sub-postmasters and sub-postmistresses what he claimed could not be done. Lord Wolfson is a King's Counsel, a former minister and Lord. Can you accept that he did not know the power that the government has over the judiciary to try to set right judicial wrongs, review judicial decisions and to keep them in check? And clearly a government minister, the Lord Chancellor, has the power to act to remove circuit and district judges, and government ministers and Parliament have the power to act to remove senior judges. The government and Parliament can and should intervene when there is corruption and perverse abuses by judges. The evidence I have irrefutably proves the judiciary are unwilling to regulate themselves. So other limbs of the state have a duty to hold them to account for their perverse misconduct. Holding each limb of the state in check is one of the stated reasons for a separation of powers. You can see he makes clear that it is the responsibility of the police to investigate judicial corruption. You can also see regarding the issues I have had with lawyers, he only directed me to the legal ombudsman and not the regulator, the SRA, who can fine or strike off lawyers. Now, to be fair, I do not know exactly what my MP Rebecca Powell asked him in relation to this. This email is a response to an email and evidence that I sent to the Lord Chancellor Robert Buckland KC and HMCTS in February 2021 regarding judicial corruption. It appears that Mr Wilton is speaking on behalf of the Lord Chancellor as well as HMCTS, and therefore it appears that the Lord Chancellor has also misadvised me in relation to the government being unable to intervene in judicial matters. As explained, we can see the government and Parliament have actually done with the sub-postmasters and sub-postmistresses what he claimed could not be done. And further, Mr Wilton has misrepresented the contents of the email I sent the two of them, to which he refers, as I sent them evidence of corruption and abuse by the first tier tribunal judges. That was the issues raised, and that is what I wanted them to address. They both refused to deal with this corruption and left me in a position of further abuse, directly and indirectly, at the hands of corrupt and abusive judges, as I will further evidence. The same as Lord Wolfson. Can you accept that the Lord Chancellor Robert Buckland KC and HMCTS did not know the power that the government, as representatives of the people, has over the judiciary to try to set right judicial wrongs, review judicial decisions and keep them in check? Here is the email from Andy Marsh, former Chief Constable of Avon and Somerset Police, where he states judges cannot be prosecuted in performance of their judicial function. A question is, does fraud and abuse constitute judicial function? Clearly not. Here is the email I sent the police stating some of the issues I faced from Bristol Court, who were stopping me from conducting my case, where in this instance the second order had been sent out days before hearing dates put in that order with dates of hearings that did not exist. but with the court refusing to confirm this misinformation in an email until after the first hearing date had passed, and also refusing to answer procedural questions by putting the phone down on me mid-conversation. This is one of many harmful incidents conducted by the court and judges. Here is the email response from Chief Constables Office stating that this judicial corruption is not a police matter. The time of these emails does not seem to be correct. As you can see, the email from the police was sent to me after me sending them my emails, so I don't know what has occurred here. Here is an email that I copied to nearly every MP regarding the judicial corruption who failed to perform their duty to take action against the abuses by the judges and court staff. And here is an email from Rob Casey notifying me after the event that there was no hearing. So we have the letter from the Parliamentary Under Secretary of State as part of the Ministry of Justice, and the comments from Pc Davy at the start of this video regarding investigating judicial corruption. This appears to contradict the claim made by the judiciary themselves. Is it conceivable a judge would ever sentence a fellow judge? Or has Pc Davy misled me with careful use of words? Or will the police only investigate with the CPS and or the police refusing to charge and prosecute judges despite any evidence against them? Has the Parliamentary Under Secretary of State misled me, perhaps knowing judges will never be prosecuted, perhaps knowing the CPS and police will not charge judges despite the evidence? Or are the police and other parties hoping I will be set up in some way in order that I can never pursue this with the police? What is the truth here? It appears to be a shambles, and not the first shambles I have faced within the Ministry of Justice in relation to holding corrupt judges to account, as I will evidence in due course. I will be seeking further clarification and asking Avon and Somerset Police why Pc Davy's response appears to contradict the former Chief Constable's email, and from the Ministry of Justice an explanation of why there is the contradictory information, and then I will let you know. Now this text is very interesting and taken from the Judiciary website and explains the ways in which the judiciary's independence is protected. And this is by allowing judges to commit crimes and abuses without being able to be held to account and prosecuted. A fabulous and well-considered concept. Clearly some great minds have worked on this amazing system. And now we see this paragraph on the Judiciary website. Oh, I've got it all wrong. It says judges are not above the law. This website makes it clear. They are not above the law. There you go. You can see it in black and white for yourself. But let's go over to the JCIO website. Here we can see the things they do investigate, such as bullying and harassment, failure to report personal involvement in a case, falling asleep, etc. It's always good if a judge doesn't have a little nap in proceedings. And now let's see what they do not investigate. Bias in a judge's decision making. And fourth from the bottom, fraud or any other criminal offence. Can you see now how the system has been rigged against the people? How the judiciary themselves are knowingly misleading you? Falsely stating judges are not above the law, and where the JCIO do not investigate criminal offences, and with the police repeatedly stating prior to the middle of April 2024 judicial corruption was not a police matter. Has nobody in a position of power ever questioned this? An example of this situation with the JCIO is akin to someone seriously sexually assaulting an individual and the victim only being able to address the manner in which the person was attacked, i.e. rude, a bit rough, but not being able to address the serious sexual assault itself. Can you see what a nonsense this is from the judiciary, who have unfettered power and dominance over you, who are agents of the king, who can take away a person's liberty in a few words, where they have imprisoned good and courageous people who have worked for the betterment of humanity by speaking the truth, and can bankrupt people to aid their friends and fellow judges and fellow lawyers. They are deceiving the people, where they have rigged the system to put themselves outside of the law and free to commit crimes and abuse litigants as they have done with me. It is all here for you to see for yourself. Even before I have given you my full evidence of judicial corruption, you can see we have a dishonest judiciary. Regarding the judges I have experienced, they are the most corrupt and abusive people I have ever come across, and that is in part due to no higher authority being able to hold them to account, and therefore they clearly believe they are untouchable. But maybe my videos and persistence will change that. The judiciary have had hundreds of years to address the problem of corrupt and abusive judges not being able to be held to account for their crimes whilst working on court cases. Clearly the appeal system does not address this problem, where numerous judges in different courts can and do collude together to commit the same crime and abuse of litigants. And the JCIO does not deal with crimes committed by judges. You have seen the stated reason judges are immune from prosecution, and that is to protect judicial independence. This makes no sense to me, as it is paramount that we do not have corrupt judges in office, and it is paramount that nobody can operate outside of the law. This has to be the starting point. Otherwise, it leads to such crimes and abuses I and others have faced at the hands of judges. But the judicial independence argument is deceptive, which I will address in another video. You can also see judges interfere and can thwart government plans, but the government appear not to do the same with the judiciary. Why is that? I think you can accept, after hundreds of years of failure to do so, the judiciary clearly have no intention of addressing this issue. Therefore, it is incumbent on other limbs of the state to address this serious problem and, through legislation, remove judges' immunity from prosecution for crimes committed whilst working on court cases, and address all the problems regarding this, such as litigants being able to have the recordings of hearings, etc. Judges have far too much freedom and power, which leaves the door wide open for corruption and abuse. In the judiciary's claimed endeavour of protecting judicial independence, the judiciary have actually perversely sacrificed justice by allowing judges who have committed misconduct and abused litigants to remain as judges with no effective mechanism to hold them to account and root them out. This is such an obvious defect and obstacle to justice, it is hard to believe it is a mistake by the judiciary. Justice has to come before everything else.